the fifth.
Right, we're going on 2 different task cams because we have a bigger audience. No, we don't. We have a bigger crowd. We don't have a bigger audience.
Yeah.
We don't. There's like 2 faithful subscribers. That's it.
Pretty sure it's the 2 of you listening to it to make sure.
Tell everybody your secret. They count, okay? I'm just saying that. We're very
I've watched it 10 times, right?
It has 10 views right there.
You're ruining all the magic. And I'm not done talking about magic.
I know, we haven't even started talking
No, we
about
haven't,
magic.
because we're Some Guy and John. I'm John, and this is Some Guy.
With
full
See
bunch
if
of
you-
guests tonight.
See if you can go down the list. Yeah, Steven,
Amanda.
Adam, Rachel, Amanda, Pete, and they're all here because they had nothing better to do on the night coming up to my birth anniversary.
Wait, it's your birthday?
Well, it will be in a few hours.
Yeah.
It will be past my birthday once this is actually aired.
Okay.
So,
all right,
speaking in the future, yeah, my birthday was amazing, except for that one time that one person sitting at this table really pissed me off. We're going to see in the next few hours who that person is.
Turns out to be.
It's gonna be me.
It's going to be but great dinner, Los Agaves, love that. And
Always
then,
good.
new Marvel movie, Dr.Strange, who I knew almost nothing about. I didn't read the books.
I knew a little bit.
I knew you did.
Yeah, I knew.
You know everything about this.
So they're definitely going to tie it in with Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
I mean, you mentioned it twice. I mean,
We had what? We had
mentioned it.
3 tie-ins.
Yeah.
We had
Well,
Avengers Tower. We had a 35-year-old I don't believe.
yeah. They show the
35,
the Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
With a big A for asshole
Right.
Yeah.
on the tower, which is awesome. Sorry, maybe it stands for awesome. All right. That's right. Suicide Squad. They're assholes. Yeah, the Avengers are awesome.
And they reference the Avengers once.
They did.
And then there's a reference to the Infinity Stone.
Well, there is because we find out we actually see one
Yeah,
in the
straight
movie. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Marvel kids. Are we caught up, or do we have all the Infinity
No, there's still
Stones?
2 more.
There's 2 more?
Yeah.
I know next to little about the.
See, people are
Most of
saying
those
it'll
movies
be-
will talk. There's the one Infinity Stone. It's the same one Captain America was in the Avengers.
The blue one with Captain America. And
Yeah,
and then there's
But isn't
the...
there the one in Guardians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
Right.
the yeah, and then there's the one in the staff and the Loki Pokey stick.
No, that's the blue one.
No, that's the same blue one.
Yeah,
That's the
no,
blue
Captain
one?
America.
No, that's the yellow one. 'Cause it's
Yeah, and
yellow
then,
and-
yeah.
So
It
the yellow
goes
one-
in visions.
It's the yellow one that goes into...
It goes
what's
to
his name's
Peter
head?
Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Who I thought his best role was still announcing Heath Ledger's arrival in A Knight's Tale. That's just me. Or, Russell Crowe's invisible friend, David.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah,
That was good.
The Prodigal Roommate.
The Prodigal Roommate
Spoiler alert
returns.
for A Beautiful Mind.
Exactly.
Do we need to do spoiler alerts for movies that came out 15
No, I'm
years
just
ago?
fucking
Oh,
with
But okay, tomorrow. Well, spoiler alert! It turns out Bruce Willis is dead the entire time in that movie.
What?
Yeah, you don't see him, but he is in it in the background, and he's dead the whole time.
The whole time.
Yep. Sorry, it
And
brings a whole
Russell
new
Crowe
element.
doesn't realize it until the end of the movie.
Thanks
All of
a
a
lot.
sudden, they're like, what's that body in the back corner? Everywhere.
But we all saw Dr. Strange,
Also, Dr. Strange.
which is awesome. I really liked it. I went in there with kind of a low bar. I don't know about you guys. I've seen all the other Marvel movies. I really like most of them.
Well, they're all good.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
The second Thor movie wasn't all that great.
They're not all fantastic, but they're all decent.
Yeah,
Howard
yeah.
the Duck.
I am sort of waiting for
Howard the Duck, I have a special place in my heart for
yeah,
Howard
it's
the
like
Duck.
what is going
Because
to be
Leah Thompson.
Yeah,
that's
what's going to be that big Marvel bomb movie? Because I'm just going to say it has to come sooner or
I thought it
later.
was, listen, I thought it was going to be Ant-Man. And
Yeah,
somehow
was really good.
somehow they made Paul Rudd in Ant-Man, and they made me
I think
fall in love with that man.
It's going to be something.
Because they're the heist.
it's going to be some movie that everyone thinks is going to be fantastic. It's like,
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, because
they keep upping the expectations
Yeah.
too.
It's probably going to be an Infinity.
So
I thought that would
It might be.
That's what they build the options for.
it might be.
Avengers movie, they can
Yeah.
do
that was like one of the
Yeah,
best fucking movies
Like if it's not
And
like
so-
10 times as good as The Dark Knight, I don't want
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no,
I
that's-
went to see it 13 more
the one-
times.
Totally destroyed my.
The one kind of pitfall of the Marvel movies with all these heroes too. It's like anytime there's trouble, it's not the joke isn't going to be let's call the Avengers. It's going to be like let's call Dr. Strange.
Call of Duty.
Because I mean basically he can kind of do anything. So.
Yeah, but he can't be everywhere.
Halo.
But I mean, I think
He's
they
not
made it
officially
clear
affiliated.
that his purpose isn't to do.
Avenger stuff.
Avenger
He's
stuff.
supposed to fend
I mean, like,
off.
that
To
was-
protect, not to go out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of actually fighting a much bigger battle.
He's supposed to protect from Voldemort when Harry Potter is awkwardly growing pimples and not around. He's supposed to protect us from the spiritual world.
Yeah.
So it's Voldemort, the Blair Witch, and Freddy and Jason. That's who Doctor Strange is supposed to essentially, the spiritual people. Which is great because essentially, as far as I can tell, that makes him more powerful than any Avenger.
Yeah, because he's protecting he's not protecting Earth, he's protecting our entire universe from other universes.
And he was never
And then-
even at like
Still kind of
full
same
power for
premise
this whole
of
movie.
Guardians
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Galaxy.
It's kind of the same premise.
It's just,
Yeah.
They're doing
It's
this
like he's a beginner.
And it would kind of suck to live in that dimension that all the sorcerers are drawing power from. It must kind of suck there.
I don't know. He
Yeah.
seemed to have been there like a dozen times in the movie.
Yeah. It was all black. It looked like a.
Well,
little,
yeah,
I saw little spoons.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, all connected.
I definitely saw like cells rolling, like
Yeah,
molecules.
right.
That's what I was looking at. It was definitely like molecular.
Yeah,
kind
you know,
of-
like that shift that sort of keeps going through Facebook every so often. It's like, what are you looking at? You're looking at a molecule of such and such dragging a molecule.
It's happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly the one I'm talking
Yeah.
about. That's what
It reminded me
the
of.
dark realm reminded you of.
I saw Ant-Man when he
Yeah.
goes like way
Yeah.
too small.
Yeah.
I also saw Interstellar when he
Oh,
goes
yeah.
into the bookcase universe
Oh, yeah.
dimension.
Yeah, but this was way better.
I know you hated it. Yeah, so
I hated Interstellar.
I know.
And also speaking of Christopher Nolan, I can say that Doctor Strange out Inception.
Yeah.
Inception, totally.
Well, here's the thing: the reviews I heard about this movie before going to see it, and from all like the critics who saw it, without giving anything away, they want to say, "Listen, the effects and the magic battles are unlike anything else you're going to see in any of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
that is worth the ticket price alone, just to
Yeah.
see how they fight and everything. It's really cool." They're right, but they also said the story needs work. Story not exactly on par with some of the other movies,
Yeah.
like the 20 other movies that Marvel has made.
It's a basic origin story.
It's-
Like
yeah.
we've seen the
It
story.
is,
basically
and
seen the story
that's
before.
fine. I don't
Yeah.
mind origin stories, especially for characters I don't know.
Magic
yeah,
was
yeah.
explained. It was like, this is the mirror realm.
Yeah.
No explanation
yeah,
of what that
yeah,
means.
yeah, it's
no
very-
explanation of why that means all of a sudden space starts bending.
Oh, this
Like,
is why we bring the English lit PhD.
Yeah.
She knows story structure.
Yeah, like
She may not know all the nerdy shit, but when it comes down to story structure, she's got it cold.
I mean, like it's sort of a bit like that line in Granted, I'm not a huge fan of this movie, and even how they did like the sci-fi
Howard the
magic
Duck.
thing at Looper.
Never saw it.
Which
Well,
one?
Looper.
Oh, Looper.
Looper. Basically, there's a scene where Bruce Willis is just basically says, "Look, I'm not going to sit here explaining all this stuff
Yeah.
because we're going to be sitting here with straws all day." And I mean,
Right.
like,
No, I-
like that. I think that was sort of the excuse
remember that,
using Looper. I sort of felt that Looper itself kind of could have used a bit more explanation of the
Yeah,
time
I mean-
logic, and I think it could have used a little more.
Yeah, but if
not
they-
not a whole lot.
Yeah, but it's Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
If he gave it a little more explanation, it would have been a 3-hour-long movie.
Yeah.
It's Christopher Nolan. You know how long the Dark Knight movies are?
Looper didn't do. Christopher Nolan didn't do Looper. It was Ryan Johnson.
Ryan, yeah, but who was executive producer?
No, was it Nolan? No.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan. Why do you think? Why do you think the guy every girl loves, J. Gordon Levitt, shows up as Robin Yeah. They have kind of an overall deal. Nolan was tasked to make another movie, so well, I'll produce it. I'll make this other guy make it. I want to go keep making another movie.
I did like
It's fine.
like they didn't explain the magic all too much, but just. Even if they didn't explain it, you, for the most part, like
No, they literally didn't explain it at all.
This is what it is.
Yeah, they didn't explain.
It's like
Well, they said
sort of
we're
got a
drawing. Well, they said we're
Hold
drawing
the
on the
amulet, you make
energy.
a circle, you got your magic.
Well, yeah, they were making.
mind over matter, kung fu mumbo jumbo.
And with that, I can make triangle circles and rhomboses in the air in
And
normal
they
flight. Yeah.
do things.
What they say
And they do
is
things. Yeah.
we draw on power from other dimensions to
Right.
craft our magic and make stuff.
Right.
And that was all they said.
And all
they
you
use
need.
mystical language.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
it doesn't
but then you
work.
didn't actually see them using mystical language for anything. You just saw them moving their hands
Yeah.
and doing
Kung fu.
Tai Chi.
Yeah.
It doesn't, but it doesn't work unless you have like the brass knuckles of magic.
Yeah. Or unless it's life or death.
That was
Oh,
the
you
tra-
told me that's not what they are.
Yeah.
They're brass knuckles of
That was the
enchantment or
traveling
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a travel.
That was a traveling ring. They didn't
Also,
write
I'm,
for everything.
Sling ring.
also, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I really want Tilda Swinton as my kung fu teacher.
Yeah. Except she
In
do
her
any of the martial arts instruction?
I
She
kind of
she kind of just stood there.
She
Yeah.
just stood there and watched.
well, when she I think in her fight scenes, I was like, wow, Tilda Swinton is really cool.
Well, she knew how to do it, but I don't think she was a real teacher. Of the
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of amazed that Cumberbatch, what was he, a neurosurgeon?
Yeah.
Looked like a neurosurgeon / brain surgeon to me.
And all of a sudden,
All of
he
a
takes
sudden-
his shirt off and he's
No.
Like,
That
when
was.
time to go to the gym.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a doctor just having his own private gym because he's
That's-
loaded.
Yeah.
That's
Every Marvel
what?
superhero, you have to
You
admit.
have
Yeah,
to.
but what
Superhero.
I
Even
wasn't
Ant-Man
terribly.
has totally
Googling.
Yeah, but what I wasn't terribly.
Well,
terribly
Ant-Man was
with.
an ex-con and thief.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I didn't buy that all of a sudden he was Neo and he wakes up. I know Kung Fu. I know Kung
Yeah,
Fu.
they didn't say how
It was
long
like
he
in
was
5
gone for.
minutes. He was a master, and he.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Yeah, there's no indication of how long he
because-
I don't
was.
see
That
that.
was my problem with it, is because they said
know
it
how
takes
long-
years of practice
Yeah, right.
and training to get to this level.
Was he
And
upset
then,
he
like,
had
it
a
seemed like
photographic
in
memory?
5 minutes
Yeah.
of reading
He
like
shaves-
10 books.
Yeah.
So
He
they're trying
was
to
up
Say
to this
goatee,
level.
and
the
no,
goatee.
no,
Also,
now
he's in
he has
charge of the.
goatee.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's also in charge of the New York
Yeah,
location
that's-
after being employed by them for about a week.
Right.
The artifacts
Yeah,
prove
you're-
it.
So
You're
I
the
want
last
to know
one
the
alive.
time span. Where
Well, I
was
will
the
say-
time?
So basically,
Right.
that
That
means
period.
the cape that reminded me a lot of the magic carpet from Aladdin.
Yes.
Yeah.
It decides
more
it
molesting.
likes him, and
Yeah.
that's what means
Yeah.
he's advanced. Like,
By sheer luck,
It
was the
definitely
king.
had its own like
Oh, yeah.
personality.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
totally personified
Talking
through
that guy's
this
head.
magic
Okay.
carpet.
which made for some good funny moments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Here,
Like, let me wipe the tears off your eyes.
Okay. Here. I'll be honest with you. Here's what I was expecting when the cape like lands on his shoulders. I'll be honest with you. I felt this in my heart. I thought it was gonna land on him, and then a little tiny face was gonna be on the side, and it was gonna go, Gryffindor. I sincerely thought that was gonna happen. I thought, it was, oh shit, you're back. Where have you been? Wow, you slimmed down. All right. That's what kind of was I expecting. I'm like, it's got its own little character, you know. Hufflepuff.
A lot of this had, I think, a lot of Harry Potter-esque
It
things
was magic, you know.
involved. Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I mean,
He was at a wizarding school, kind
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
Well, he
and they
was.
had
And
their
doesn't-
own form of wands
and-
that
Yeah.
chose them.
And doesn't the mouse own Harry Potter franchise?
No,
or is that
that's
Warner's?
Warner's.
That's Warner's.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. That's Warner
If
Brothers.
if they did, they would take over. I think. Yeah, that's like their
If
last.
they did, somebody would say the word Muggle in this movie.
Wait, is Warner Brothers
Warner's.
involved in Universal Studios? Because
No.
that's where the
No,
Harry Potter.
different. They rent out
licensed- they
space or
licensed
something.
it.
Well, just like how Marvel had to lease Spider-Man
Yeah.
to get him back in
Yeah.
Captain America, because like Sony still owns him, right? Yeah, Sony still
Okay.
owns Spider-Man.
Because that makes it confusing. You go to Universal Studios and there's a whole Harry Potter world there,
I
and
know.
where did they
Yeah.
come from?
It's like,
when
wait
they're
a
not
minute.
involved with Universal Studios.
Nobody cares about Warner Brothers land.
Right.
Top left to right. Pretty good.
Also, another thing, I feel that this movie might be the Marvel movie I laughed the hardest and most
Finally.
consistent.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you including Deadpool?
It's not
The Marvel
not a
universe.
Marvel universe. Yes. No, it's true.
Yeah, I mean,
Isn't there a difference between Marvel movie and Marvel universe?
Yeah.
Yes.
And isn't Deadpool technically a Marvel movie?
That's an
Yeah.
X-Men movie.
No, it's a Sony movie.
No, I know what you know.
But it's a Marvel character.
No, it's a Marvel. It's
It's not in the MCU.
It's the same universe as all the
It's
X-Men
Fox.
movies.
You're right. It's a Fox. 20th Century Fox owns Deadpool,
It is a Marvel movie.
but
yeah.
it's a Marvel movie. But they begrudgingly said, "Well, you can do it, but you have to put our name on it. You have to pay us much money."
So the fun is MC.
That's fine.
yeah,
Which
definitely
because we
MCU.
refer to it
And,
as
What about Ant-Man?
All of
movie
it.
in a Marvel.
I think Doctor Strange is
Even
funny.
more than Ant-Man?
And you thought it was funny with Ant-Man?
I don't know. Maybe,
It's because of Dr. Strange, the character.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
he's like Tony Stark again.
well, it's like
That
he's
scene-
it's like
and
he's
that scene with the
he-
coat
it's like
was
okay,
really
but
kind of fun.
It was, but I
He's
also
Tony's-
thought that was funny in Ant-Man too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
Oh, it was really
Oh,
funny.
Ant-Man was
He's
funny. It's
We
Paul
were
Rudd.
intrigued by the trailer or anything. We're like, oh, this is so stupid. We're not
Oh,
gonna go
that's
watch
what I
it.
said.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
what I
we
said.
never
but-
watched it. Like,
But
we never got into
it's
it.
a Marvel
But it was
movie.
actually
So,
really
yeah, it was a
good.
Marvel movie, so I had to see it.
Alright,
And then I was like, oh shit, I never thought I would ever like Ant-Man. Ant-Man sounds like the silliest character ever. I never read the comic books, don't care. And I saw it, I was like, holy shit, it's Paul Rudd, it's funny.
I think
It's just really funny.
the difference I think between the main difference between Iron Man and Doctor Strange, at least with a humor, is that
There's a suit
most of the time Tony Stark tells the joke. Doctor Strange, the joke is, I think, a bit more often on him.
Yeah.
Like he.
Generally.
Yeah, it's like he tries to. It's like he makes jokes, but they're not quite as funny, and
Yeah.
and it's like this. Just
Well, people
this
tell me
situa-
I'm funny. Do they work for you?
Yeah.
It worked
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
But that's good. You know, he's very pompous, so he
Yeah.
gets knocked down
Yeah.
to size.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
goes along with that whole,
Yeah.
you have to surrender
Yeah.
your ego,
Yeah.
stop pretending you know everything just because you have a PhD, looking at you, Rachel.
And
you don't know everything.
yeah, and also just and like
But that was the lesson,
Yeah.
essentially. It's like, stop
Against
stop thinking, because, nope, birthday, no.
Birthday kisses
Not yet.
right there, right across the
Yeah, I know, but it'll be my birthday by the time we're alone. And she may actually
Let's
hit
just
me.
go into we're all spoilers, all discussion.
Well,
has been.
no, we haven't gone through it. So what happens is he gets into a car wreck because he's a pompous ass and
Okay,
he's
here's
checking
breakdown.
text messages and shit in his Lambo while doing like 150.
Passing
On a
somebody-
windy road
On a
while
one-
it's raining.
Yeah, exactly. At night.
Passing people.
Passing people on double yellow.
And he's examining
Around
X-rays.
blind corners.
Yeah.
It's like, come
Because
on.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, and he can do no
Yeah.
wrong,
I-
and he's
and he
amazing.
feels like
I
invincible.
really thought that he was gonna. I thought he was gonna make it to the party, then get drunk, do something really awful, and then on his way back. That's where I thought it was
Cut
going.
for
but-
time, apparently.
But yeah, yeah.
And then he gets into the car accident, he wakes up, and the brilliant neurosurgeon, his hands are all fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
fried.
And then there's nerve damage, he can't really shake, he's got Michael J. Fox disease. Sorry. Parkinson's disease, like symptoms where he's really shaky. It's all because of nerve damage.
Yeah.
And he finds out when he asks one of the physical therapists, well, I do know one guy who actually was cured. So he finds out that this guy actually cured himself by going to some ashram and doing spiritual shit. But he's got nothing to lose, so he goes and checks it out. And it turns out it's the Super Friends of Magic
Yeah.
in Nepal.
Yeah, it's just the multi-ethnic.
Yeah.
Yeah. The very PC, ethnically
multi-ethnic Asian-based magic,
which involves a black guy and a white English woman,
And-
nothing to do with Nepalese people
Well, no,
whatsoever.
I saw a
The
couple
library-
blondes in the mix.
I saw a Chinese
The,
dude,
the,
a
the
black
library,
dude,
the
and a
library
white
is
English
Chinese.
woman.
is Chinese.
I didn't
yeah.
see any Nepalese people in there.
Yeah.
You would think it's
You
in the
know why
backyard.
that is? The ancient one is supposed to be Nepalese.
Yeah,
But-
but then they cast Tilda Swinton, and so they made the ancient one Celtic.
Because
yeah.
they have to sell the
China.
movie to China.
Yeah.
And they are not going to have it if
Yeah.
there's a Tibetan person in it.
Yeah.
So they got rid of that right away.
That makes a lot of
That makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Well, he goes there and he finds out. Well, first off, he immediately, as soon as learning that power is available by pulling dark energy from another dimension, you can do these amazing things, and she's going to train him to do these amazing things, completely forgetting about why he initially went there in the first place and to fix his hands.
And he learned all this in his 10 minutes of reading 10 books.
Right. 10 minutes of reading 10 books because he has a photographic
Well, he has
memory.
a-
And
There's a two-part thing that he has a photographic memory, and he learned how to project on the astral plane to read the books, where time is almost infinitely slower.
no, he hasn't gotten there.
No,
yet.
yeah,
he hasn't been able to turn
yeah.
shit back.
Yeah, not-
No.
yeah.
No, we absolutely see that.
In the astral plane, time goes really slow.
I mean,
And
Oh.
you
He
see
just thrown
him
into-
reading in the
Well,
astral plane while
yeah.
his body is asleep.
Yeah.
So he
Oh,
could
okay.
stay up
Oh,
all night
right,
reading-
right.
He could stay up all night reading for like a month or two.
Okay.
all right. So
Okay,
So
so
instead
that's-
of
But
2 months,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
4 months.
Right,
but,
right.
Yeah.
Instead of 2 months, it's 4 months.
Yeah.
And then he
I
gets
mean,
sent.
like, it doesn't say precisely how long
Right.
he's there. I mean, he could have been there for like 3-4
Right.
years.
And then,
which-
and then
even-
like
I mean,
a lot of
even
these other
that.
movies, they're like some members of the League of Shadows leave and want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
And those guys want to usher in.
So Mads Mikkelsen,
Yeah, exactly. He wants to usher in the dark demon from another dimension
Yeah.
to take
He was
over
like,
the world.
yeah, I'll totally give you.
Right. Because
Trust me, I shall give you
yeah.
Does this look like a face you can trust?
I would buy auto insurance for you over a gecko. That is so trustworthy. But the promise to these few people, these few followers, is that they'll have eternal paradise and life will go on forever, and time and energy and space will merge, and they will never die.
This is sort of a spoiler
But really,
thing, but
it's just, you know.
I think we've gone past the point.
No, but I think we summed it up.
Spoilers.
I think we
Yeah,
summed
yeah,
up
yeah,
like
I
the
mean,
premise. Sorry, I think I summed up the premise.
I was kind
I'm
of
doing all the work in this podcast. Well, it's my
I was
birthday.
kind of rolling
Come on.
my eyes when the villain was making his villain speech, but then it's like they came up with there's a reveal that added somewhat of a dimension to the villain's plan, where it's like it's still kind of silly, but like yeah, I was sort of like, all right, I can see what kind of you were going for.
You could see his perspective. He wasn't just
Yeah.
a mustache twirling tie to go to the train tracks
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah,
he
he
had
had
a
the
motivation,
right
a reason to
motivation
do what he was
and,
doing.
It wasn't Lex Luthor looking
Yeah.
for another land snatching.
No, yeah.
yeah.
His motivation was, from his point of view, selfish because we're in the spoilers act. In the other dimension, everybody would get to live forever, not just the ancient one.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is what he thought, and he thought that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Even though it's called a dark dimension, I'm sure Dormammu calls it the dark dimension too.
It's
But
dark. They don't have night lights.
Never mind
evil.
that.
Yeah.
Never mind that part. You'll get to live forever.
And one thing, like for
Only the
I think
Christmas lights from Stranger Things will bring you back.
Yeah, for-
It's dark dimension.
for the most part, it's like they have like these like sort of like sage Asian master type characters they're playing. Like I think like 70 to 80% of the time they did a good job of humanizing them. Like they'll make a little joke, and it's like and kind of act like humans, but like every now and then there's a little scene of like the darkness is coming, where they kind of go into the cliche movie silly speech that
Winter is coming.
Yeah. I mean,
Winter is coming.
It was there.
And Jon Snow's not dead. He's going to come back to life again.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I think
Yeah,
that's
no, I see what you're
because
saying.
we're all like, we're at the point in the MCU where every movie has to contribute towards leading up to Infinity Wars.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
big, huge.
Well, we throw an Infinity Stone in there.
Yeah.
The way that
that's-
Doctor Strange can
that's the
control
thing, where
time.
it's
Yeah,
like-
we throw in the Infinity Stone, and then we have Wong say to him
Yeah,
again,
the Infinity Stone is like
bad
the-
things are coming.
We're getting long in the MCU before we finally get to the next Avengers movies where they actually meet all
other
the Infinity
teams.
Stones. Where the super glove of power.
Yeah.
With all the Infinity Stones with what's his name?
Thanos. Yeah.
Exactly, Josh Brolin.
Thanos,
I'm
the
still
fate.
calling him Josh Brolin. Did you not see Old Country for Old Men? That was enough for me. I'm just
No
calling it
Country
enough.
for Old Men.
That too. Come on, Tommy Lee Jones. It's Old Country for Old Men. It was set in 1980. Come on. Yeah, but we're getting long in the storylines here. We have to start wrapping this shit up
Yeah.
because
Yeah, we
how
have to
long
find
are
the
they?
other two stones.
Well, how long are they going to keep Robert Downey Jr. a retainer before he really starts looking old? He's got to still look like Tony Stark. They got to start getting this shit moving. So
Well,
It's
Three
been
more
like
years.
2008 they've been
know.
teasing these movies.
I know, but they.
Time to move it.
I know they got to start moving at a
But they're
faster
just
pace.
making so much money out
Oh,
of
yeah.
them that
And they're delivering
Keep milking them.
yeah.
pretty good movies along the way.
Yeah.
No, they are.
But they're
It's
they're gonna
just-
have to keep rushing with these Infinity Stones because how long are they gonna keep Josh Brolin sitting in the sound booth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do
Well, I
like
mean-
3 lines per movie.
And that's
I
it.
mean, yeah,
He does 3 lines in
honestly.
Guardians. He does 3 lines at the end of one of the Avengers movies.
And
That's it. I'm not scared of this guy.
I'm not concerned for them having Josh Brolin because you could literally cast any fairly deep voice actor in
Yes.
Thanos,
Well,
and it would be
but-
fun.
I mean, the other thing
The point of
is,
paying-
We don't need
if
Josh
they're
Brolin.
worried
I know, but
about
the point
losing
of
Josh
paying him
Brolin,
so-
they could do with Josh Brolin right now what they did with the kids on How I Met Your Mother,
Yes.
and have him record his final
They
lines
could, and they probably
Yeah.
have.
now and just hold
Bad,
on to them.
bad
Yeah.
idea.
No, I know. I would hate it.
bad.
It would be
It's
terrible.
As soon as they say,
But
No, do not.
No,
If you're doing a TV show or a series of movies, do not pin yourself
no,
down.
and
to
no,
an
and
end.
no, they.
Why
they-
would his voice be different when he's 50 from when he's 30? It makes no
I
fucking
know, it
sense.
makes no sense.
It
Why
makes no
does,
sense.
Why does Radner's voice change to Saget's voice? There's no explanation.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't see.
Especially because then when the story finally ends and then you see gray-haired Radner talking to his kids, he's got Radner's voice, not Saget's voice.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Yeah.
I know he was way past.
That finale aired like 2
Danny
years ago, and I'm
Tanner.
still angry about it.
Yeah. Well, also they already axed the idea of the 2 Infinity Stone movies, whatever. They axed that. They're like, no, we're going to do another Avengers movie, and that's really it. We're not going to do the 2 movies to keep these guys on retainer.
Oh, they're not going to do? I thought
No, they changed it. They were
Oh.
they were going to do a 2-parter because
Oh,
they
they're
figured
not anymore?
because they figured out a loophole to keep everybody around for another movie because all their contracts are up after one more Avengers movie. So they said, well, we wanted to do 2 more Avengers movies. How are we going to do that? I know. We'll make it a 4-hour-long movie, and then we'll release half of it in the first year, and the other half of it, we'll get 2 movies out of you, but we'll call it one movie, and that's how we'll skip past the lawyers. That was the plan, but that fell short. They're not going to do that anymore.
So what are the
That's what I
next-
heard. I heard
what's-
they couldn't make that work.
So next one's Guardians 2,
Yeah.
then Ragnarok.
No,
Black-
is it
Black Panther?
Panther? Yeah,
Oh,
I think it's
right.
Black
Yeah,
Panther.
there's 3 next. There's 3 next year: Black Panther,
Yeah.
Ragnarok, and Guardians 2. I don't know what the order is.
I think the next one is Guardians, and
Since
then
that trailer has already dropped, I assume
I think it's Guardians, then Ragnarok,
Then
and
Black
then
Panther?
Black Panther. I think they pushed Black Panther. Yeah.
You're a generous man. I don't want you to leave your card at the bar.
I'm a generous man too. Wrong John.
Okay, so
It's happened to
question.
so many ladies.
I should have
Going
taken
with the wrong job.
Benedict Cumberbatch's American accent.
It was really good. I was impressed.
I felt.
Yeah, it was throwing me off a little bit.
I felt
I
bad.
always not.
No, I
Yeah,
felt bad.
yeah.
What's her name? Swinston.
He reminded me a lot of House. I gotta say.
Yeah.
No,
I-
he was supposed to. He was supposed to be a
and
good
the accent
actor.
made him sound a lot like House.
I think he got
Yeah.
the doctor accent down. I felt
Yeah,
bad
it
for
was
him
just-
because he's got Tilda in front of him doing her real accent, and then
Yeah.
he's got to put on
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's had to have slipped up. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
all righty then. Oh, shit!
Yeah.
Stop talking in your native accent, which is my native accent. I have to be an American.
His voice sounds cooler as a British accent. My
It
thought
does.
was just like,
Yeah, but you know what? He pulled off.
Yes,
my thought,
but
just-
all
just
of the
make 'em
Avengers
British.
Yeah.
who are
Just
human
make-
are American.
They all
Yeah.
well. I mean,
Oh,
he's
no,
supposed to be
no.
American. Thor isn't American.
I said who are human.
Oh, or human, yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, that's
we can have some
Yeah, that's true.
diversity.
Except for Captain Britain. He, interestingly enough, is actually Welsh. Yeah. Nobody knows why that is.
I think every time, like with Paul Bettany, they didn't fuck around with his accent. They said Paul Bettany, be Paul Bettany, be Jarvis. And now I want.
Right, and
and
we
now
know
I,
why, though, from seeing Agent Peggy Carter,
Right.
is Tony modeled Jarvis's voice after
After-
the butler that his dad had when he was
was
growing up.
English. Yeah, but now I want the GPS in my car to be Jarvis'
Well,
voice.
yeah, that'd be
Well,
awesome.
everybody does.
Exactly. I don't want to talk to Siri. I want to talk to Jarvis.
Yes.
Fuck Alexa. Where's Jarvis?
No, yeah, Alexa's not going to work out.
Exactly. I want Jarvis.
Friday
But
was pretty cool.
I think they have to. I think they really have to start casting. I would like to see them start casting all these English actors that they always pull from. Make them play English parts. And if they can't, start finding American actors to pull off these parts. I find it hard to believe that in a country full of 350 million people who all want to be celebrities one day, you can't find one person that can do this job.
I mean, like,
It just kind of sucks that every single good actor that tends to be in these movies
I think
tends
it's
to be
the
English.
appeal of it, though, is because
Well,
the
Australian.
350 million people are the ones who are going to the movies and
Yeah.
paying for it. They want to see that appeal of another accent in the movies.
That could be. Well, I do know that every single time they show an English voice, it's a turnoff in a lot of focus groups for a lot of these movies because Americans distrust an English voice because it sounds more intelligent than them. That's what they always say. So
Who in
poll
the
after
MCU,
poll after poll
who in
shows that with the
MCU
English
has
people.
a British accent? The
Jar-
Vision.
Vis-
Jarvis
well,
slash the Vision,
Peggy
who
Carter.
is only not threatening because
Chooses to be.
Well, because he used to be a computer.
he used to be a
He used to be
computer and
Siri.
subservient.
Yeah, he's subservient.
Right.
Because
Peggy
he used
Carter,
to be Siri. Yeah.
Not particularly threatening because she's a woman.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, at least as
There's
she's
that
right.
idea
No,
behind
She's
it,
right.
though.
not threatening to normal people with a conscience.
Right.
Threatening to
Okay, fair enough.
redneck assholes who want to go back 200 years.
And Loki.
Well, that's
They let Hiddleston
They
keep his
had to.
British
yeah,
accent.
but they let Anthony Hopkins keep his accent.
And Thor has his
And Thor-
Australian
And Thor
accent.
has his Aussie.
They kind of have him do a British accent instead of
Yeah,
a-
they do.
Yeah.
No, but still not an American accent.
Right, but
Well,
I'm
he's from
saying
another
that,
realm.
I know. So it's
my point is that the British accents tend to be like the more villainous slash scary characters.
Well, they show that in Jaguar commercials.
Yeah.
They do. I love that Jaguar commercial.
Oh yeah.
They all show all like the what's his name who played the villain in no the guy who played the villain in Sherlock Holmes.
Moriarty.
Yeah, Moriarty. The guy who plays Moriarty.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I know who
It's
you're
got
talking
him.
about.
It's got
Jared Harris.
it's got him. It's got Hiddleston and
Armstrong.
There's Mark Strong too from
right.
Sylvester from
And they're all
Batman.
driving Jaguars. They're all flying at night in helicopters over London.
And when we appear in your movies, we're usually the villains.
Yeah, we're usually villains. That's just because we have English accents, and
Yeah.
because we like extreme power. And if you notice, that's why we all drive Jaguars. I'm just like, holy shit, I want to buy a Jaguar now. Fuck,
that was really good.
I need that accent and a Jaguar in my life. I love that accent
Yeah.
because they pointed out, every single movie.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they're always
Because
either
Americans are threatened by British accents.
Americans are threatened by anybody that might be smarter
or if
than
it's like
us.
if someone
We
is
are.
speaking a foreign language, like anything from French to Latin, German, they're just like just make them talk British.
Wait,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like Romans are
Yeah.
Romans
So
often
anytime in a movie that you have two characters who are supposedly
oh, like
speaking,
Gods of Egypt?
yeah, who are supposedly speaking German to each other, and we can just hear them. How do you indicate that they're speaking a foreign language? Oh, just have them speak in a British accent.
Yeah. No, actually, the illusionist with Edward
it's long, but I love
Norton,
that.
the director's like, okay, they're speaking. They're in Austro-Hungary, so so it's like we're going to make them have slight Austro-Hungarian
Austrian accents,
accents.
yeah.
That- I think that was a good
But that,
touch.
I mean, okay.
Well,
I
like,
guess it makes more sense
well,
than
like,
British
well, the
accent.
dude who
But like,
played.
if you're gonna have them be speaking English anyway, when obviously they would be speaking Austrian, like, just,
All right, the guy who plays the villain in Civil War, the guy from Rush.
yes,
What's his name?
I don't know.
The guy who plays Zemo in Civil War.
Nicky Lauder.
Yeah, the guy who plays Nicky Lauder in
Yeah.
Rush. But it's
I don't remember
It's
the
like
actor's
Bruno
name.
Stenz or Bruno Hertz or Bruno.
Something.
He's Austrian, but he's fluent in German, French, Spanish. Like he knows every language, and he can change accents no problem. That's Zemo. Zemo. That'd be fun. That's a new animal at the aquarium. Zemus.
So, Speaking of villains' names,
But he has the Austrian accent. He puts it on in Rush.
Whipple says happy birthday.
Well, I'll tell Sean Whipple, thank you. He's got the Austrian accent, and he used it for Ron Howard in Rush.
Yeah.
But Ron and him still came to the conclusion that there's something about his accent that is too dramatic for American audiences because they had to make Nicky Lauder relatable.
Right.
And they had a hard time with that. And he said, we're going to have to reshoot some of these scenes to make Nicky Lauder relatable because we're all watching Thor on screen racing you in an F1 car. But we have to make you sympathetic somehow, but you have this Austrian accent and it's too dramatic. And American audiences don't like that. Because every movie that Americans have ever seen with German people in it, it's not good for the Germans. It's just not. They're either up to no good or they're getting their asses handed to them. And it's usually in the same movie.
So back on target to Dr. Strange.
So back on target to Dr. Strange. Stay on target is our tagline because it's a line from Star Wars.
Yep.
I know, you are swimming in nerdom.
I love it. I'm keeping hold of all the conversation. I just can't contribute very much because when it comes down to names
Right.
or any kind of plot lines, I'm a little lost. But I
How
get
about-
it.
how
What you
about
guys
we
talk about.
Throw in anything you do know, and we'll find some way to relate to it. I mean, I figured out a way to relate to a Ron Howard movie about
Right.
race car
Okay,
drivers
so
somehow, because
I'm gonna
two
make-
of those
I'm gonna make a
characters are
weird
Marvel
tie back
movies.
into.
So that's a way to do it.
So we were talking. You misspoke Zemo's name, and you said
Zemo.
Zemo. So
Not
speaking
Zemo.
of weird villain names, I had a hard time taking Dormammu
Yeah. That's,
seriously
it's a crap
because it's basically just like a weird version of the Latin verb to sleep.
Well, no, it reminded me of Doormat. Like he's walking
Yeah.
all over
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
and like he made him his bitch
Oh,
in this whole
interesting.
time warp thing.
Ouch! I didn't think of that.
I thought Doormat.
Now you're contributing. You can just contribute on just Dr. Strange. Jump in.
But Dormir makes sense
Yeah.
to sleep. I mean, and that's kind of the whole same thing.
Yeah.
We were reducing him by his name.
Right.
It should have been a stronger name.
Yeah.
We would enjoy a normie's perspective of this nerdom.
Normies.
But what we haven't had many.
How about we just talk, make up names, act like we know what we're talking about, and we can probably fool you.
Well, I like to call the bad guy Bright Eyes. Charlton Heston from Planet of the Apes. I like to call him Bright Eyes because he had the eyes, and I'm like, I'm not gonna remember this dude's name. I can remember Dr. Strange, and then everybody else is like, you're the other person.
I call him like creepy. I think he's French guy.
Running makeup.
Well, his
Running
face
mascara.
kind of looked like it was made out of wood.
It looked like, I don't know, like underneath his skin was something else, and only the spots around his eyes were bleeding through or something.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? His mascara was really running.
Also, then Chiwetel Ejiofor's character was
Wait, whoa. Say again?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
The black guy.
That's
Wow.
I was asking.
I
God,
know
how-
that actor. I'll never remember his name. I've seen him in a
What was
ton of
his
stuff.
character's name in this movie?
Mordo.
Mordo.
Okay, because I kept
I
hearing
love the
Mordo,
actor.
which is the evil bear in Brave, the Pixar movie that came out like 4 years ago. So,
I just like a
The red-headed girl with the arrows. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember him. Vaguely.
the bear that she's trying
The
to,
bear.
she's afraid of is called Mordo, and that's I kept hearing
I liked
Mordo.
him, and all I'm gonna say is kids.
How many times did you watch that movie?
Oh God, too many times.
Brave
Yeah.
once.
And you remembered?
Of course she does.
Wow.
Yes.
She's got a photographic memory.
All right, fair enough.
Eidetic memory.
Okay, Will Wheaton. Jeez. Wow. Sheldon Cooper. Sorry.
Yeah. I was gonna give you a pass on that one, but
Yeah, I wanted to see if you'd remember. Okay.
Look who I ran into inside.
Hey!
Hey, there it is. welcome to my birthday party. I was just telling him how I don't think you like me.
This conversation is being recorded.
It is. That's why.
Randomly shit years later, we play it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah?
And you start drinking. That's why.
We are really recording.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything that you're saying is on tape.
Oh yeah.
We're talking. We're doing a podcast on Dr.Strange. So yeah.
We just saw the movie, so now we're discussing it. Having real nerd talk.
It's real nerd talk.
No, real nerd
If we were talking about guns and rodeos, there wouldn't be much difference. It would just be more socially acceptable to other people. But honestly, it really makes no difference. We just love it so much.
nerd.
Story structure means so
Yeah,
much.
and it was actually a really fun, good movie.
It was good.
It has little problems here and there.
It does.
It was strange.
Like in the fact that he has all these powers, he can't fix his own hands.
Yeah,
so-
fans of the comic.
All right. Yeah. Are we going to talk? We're going to talk about the.
You know the comic concept?
I don't. I know all the other ones, but I went into this one cold. I don't know shit about him. Like I barely knew Ant-Man, but I went into it. I'm like, okay,
No,
I love
okay,
Ant-Man.
I think that was.
I didn't know anything about this. I don't
I
love
think
it.
that was the point with the apple.
It's Paul Rudd. She hasn't seen it.
To
Neither
fix his
has he.
hands, he'd have to roll back the
We
It's
saw
funny.
the trailer and we're like, oh, that looks really lame. We
If
never
nothing
saw
else,
it.
see it just because it's funny.
That's why they showed the apple. and
I don't
the
think that was the reason why. I think the reason why was evident in the conversation that his astral projection had with the Ancient One's astral projection when she explained to him what
No, I
Pangborn
told him that we put it on.
was doing was that the reason Pangborn is able to
We have to
walk,
watch
even
it.
though he was paralyzed from
I'm sorry.
the chest down, is that he's constantly using magic
Yeah.
to make his body work. And that he had a choice
Yeah.
to go work for the good power or to use that magic
There's
to
a
heal
problem, I can
himself,
see the bottom
which
of it.
implies that if you're going to work for the powers of good, you can't use the magic to heal yourself. So his choice comes down to I can fix my hands, or I can be a part of this power and use my power for the aid. And that was very clear to me that that was why he didn't fix his hands.
Thank you.
I mean, like it.
Enjoy your birthday.
Absolutely. Thank
No,
you.
what I thought might have been like what might have they might have been going for, but they didn't really demonstrate it well. Was the fact that he needed two hands to work the time.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that subtle.
Hey, that's why it's called an impression.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
like she said, to heal his hands, it's not heal the cells. It's use magic to make them work again.
Not this one.
You have to constantly
Right,
be doing
exactly.
magic. Like in all magic stories, once the wizard who casts the spell dies, the magic's gone.
Really good birthday gift.
Yeah, that is
It really is.
So what if Dr. Strange died? So
It is because I always liked him, and I always got the impression he
well,
liked
yeah,
me.
it's like that whole
That's why it
time
bothered
travel
me.
thing.
If I didn't like it, it
It
wouldn't
kind of
bother me.
needed to be explained a
We
bit
only hang
more
out with
to
good people.
explain
I think
precisely
you're right.
why he couldn't
I think
use.
they opened up a big hole on
I still don't know
purpose
why
with that
fucking
whole fracturing
Cumberbatch
the
didn't
universe.
fix his
Well,
own
yeah,
hands.
so that was
That
really
really bothers
He got back
me.
from
I don't
fixing things,
understand.
It's so
and then
it's so
Mordo-
logical. That's
Mordo
the
was like,
problem.
well,
was
It's
like,
in their
no, you
universe.
broke the laws.
Nothing
There's
is
always a
logical.
price.
Yeah.
I
So,
expected them
we
to
can't
get
use
back
human
to
logic
New York and find
to a
that
magic
in having
problem.
fucked with time.
Right?
Rachel McAdams
Apparently
didn't
not.
exist.
It's
Something
impossible.
like that,
It's just
yeah.
like Harry
Something like
Potter.
that. Like I
I'm
expected
sure
to
logic.
see a real time.
So,
I'm sure
always
that
Harry
will
Potter
come up
problems.
once Statue starts using the time stone.
I just saw him. He can turn the time backwards on an apple. He cannot turn the time backwards on his fucking hands
Or his
and
watch.
solve the initial problem that got him there. He didn't ask to be a warrior for our dimension.
And see, that's the thing is he's made the choice to stay a warrior for the dimension.
He could have made the choice to fix his hands too.
Wait,
No,
and
because there
stay,
goes.
award.
No.
I mean,
no,
the
no,
way-
no. He was able to turn an apple backwards, but not
Okay, but
affect the rest
that
of
was
the
in
world.
But not
recent
permanently.
time. If he had to turn back time all the way to before his hand was ruined, he might not have that whole time continuum
So you're
thing
saying,
available to him anymore.
so you're saying the theory is that when he was changing the apple, he was changing the time for everybody?
Yeah, that's why Wang was so pissed off about him doing it.
Wong.
Sorry.
Although Wang is funnier, so Wang.
Yes. But no, because it was like an
So he was changing time.
thing that he was changing. If he were to change it
I
back
didn't get
all the
that.
way to his accident,
Yeah, see-
then he would have never had that time continuum.
See, I think the fact that we're
I
arguing
believe you.
about
I didn't get that.
about
It
the
didn't
like
show on the screen.
specifics of the time travel.
That's
I think
why- that's
it
why
kind
they
of
showed it
shows
playing- that's why they showed
that
it playing
I
with
think
the
the
apple,
movie
because it was
kind of
right
needed
there.
to explain
It was
the
moments
logistics
before
of
it was
time
forward.
travel
I
a
agree.
bit
Right.
more.
Turn it forward and
Yeah,
back.
Because
I think that
we
the
just have
movie
to
was like-
we have to project
Yeah.
our explanations
I think that
onto
the
it.
movie did a lot of like, look how cool we can bend time and space. We're not going to tell you how.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what it is people are doing, or
Or-
even why it's really significant, except to say that it could possibly have bad
Or
ramifications.
Yeah.
that if he spins the thing back far enough, he could have stopped all of this bullshit from happening in the first place.
But yeah,
I
it's-
mean,
Yeah,
that
but
is
that's the time-
that
that's
is
the-
always the time
That's the time travel
movie
paradox.
That's what the whole
thing.
butterfly effect
Right.
thing
I
goes
know,
on
but-
too.
I
It's
know,
like
which
you
there-
eventually
which
change.
there was a call to.
I know, you
when
get-
she first, when
When
he
she
shows
threw him
up
around, he-
and she throws him out into space.
Yeah.
He gets thrown way out into space and he touches a butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that
Yeah,
directs him
butterfly
back.
effect.
Right.
So yeah, it was absolutely a
Well,
call to
no,
butterfly.
they were clearly the only reason to
Yeah.
show the butterfly is to play with the butterfly effect
for
and
sure.
not mention that god awful Ashton Kutcher movie.
Yeah. No, the whole idea, what I was saying is, the more
yes,
you
it was.
play with time, and that's why they were getting so upset,
Right.
is the more you bring it back and try to change the events that happen,
Right, you fuck
Yeah.
up.
you
that
just
the more
fuck
you
up
fuck
more.
up the past,
So
that
you're
leads
just
you
gonna
to
end up
be able
killing
to
and
go
yourself
back
then,
in
anyway.
time.
and then Biff turns into Donald Trump. And then, yeah, I know.
I'm wondering what the ramifications of that big hole he made in time are going to be, because that was like, that wasn't an apple.
Well,
that was
he
reshaping everything.
Well, no,
Okay.
the what we find out from, help me with the name, Rachel. No, not Wong.
Mordo.
Mordo.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Damn, you're good. Mordo, who he said, the chickens are gonna come home with the roost. The
Yeah.
bill's in the mail. We're gonna pay for this.
The bills always do.
It's always
It
yeah.
always comes to
Right.
Yes.
It's coming. We're gonna have to deal with this. So of course they set it up for a sequel because why not? Marvel knows set up every
Well,
single
and then
movie for a sequel. They know.
Mordo, having defeated Mads Mikkelsen and his zealots, then becomes a zealot of his own.
Yeah, that we gotta fix everything.
There's too many
Everything's
sorcerers
messed up
in this
because there's too many
world.
sorcerers
Let me
messing
go
with everything.
re-paralyze you by taking
Yeah.
this magic away from you, Benjamin
Right.
Bratt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know when I saw the bad guys, mascara face.
Yeah.
When I saw him
I was
breaking
really
through
impressed by
the
that makeup job.
It was interesting. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
I was impressed by the skill involved.
Well,
Yes.
they spend time on the makeup. I mean, look at Red Skull and Captain America. They don't mind spending
Yeah.
time on makeup.
Yeah.
And that when they want to, that's fine. But when he's able to break through and not be part of the time turning
Yeah,
backwards
yeah.
shit, I'm like, okay, so these rules that he's already breaking can also be broken.
Yeah.
He's turning time backwards, but people with the knowledge can break free of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that tells me, like, next movie, he's got to go through and fix his hands.
Right.
I
But his
assume
hands working
so.
don't matter anymore.
I know,
Yeah,
but
that's
I
the
would
whole
like that,
idea.
yeah.
Is the whole reason why the other
That's
guy with the broken
right.
spine is able to move on life is because he's using the magic to go about his
Right.
daily life.
Yeah.
So why couldn't he use the magic from another dimension and
Well, it's
do it?
No. That you were talking to Brandon while we were talking about
Yeah.
this, but in that scene where his astral projection and the Ancient One's astral projection are talking while she's dying,
Yeah.
like she makes it very clear you have a choice.
Right.
You can either concentrate your magic on making your body work the way you want it to, like Pangborn does,
Yeah.
or you can fight the good fight. You can't use your magic for both simultaneously.
Yeah.
You have to make a choice because she actually says like he had a choice.
So
He could
there's-
serve a greater good,
Okay.
or he could make his body work.
There's
I mean,
a
like
convenient plot.
there's like the poignant idea, but it wasn't quite
That's for
executed
you
as
two
well as
writers
it
to
could have.
confirm. That's a plot device right there.
Oh, it absolutely is because
glaring.
why can't you use your magic for more than one thing at
Right.
once? Because.
Right.
And
Because it's poignant.
Well,
Because reasons.
Because I'm mother and I say so.
Yeah, and it's
Because
also,
reasons.
it also even feeds even more
always
to his
reasons.
ego, where like I can fix my hands and be the great surgeon again, or I can be the savior of our entire fucking universe.
Yeah.
All
It's
of a
like
sudden, all
I
of a
can be
sudden my hands kind of don't matter if I get to
Yeah.
be savior of the universe.
Right.
That's a really hard choice.
And of course, Earth is the
Infinite
most
cosmic
important planet
power
in the universe.
or be
Or
the
brain surgery.
brain surgery.
Yeah.
Which to him at the time, at the beginning of the
Yeah,
movie,
it's the most-
seemed like infinite
Yeah.
Well,
cosmic
he
power.
explains why. He's like, you save one person at a time. I'm doing research that will save hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
They're
And
like,
also,
oh, you mean all your CNN interviews?
also, it's like
It's
I
like, well,
also,
shut up, Rachel.
I also think it could have delved. It did address this, but I think it could have delved a bit deeper into the fact that the idea of like the Hippocratic oath. Yeah, is that the oath do no harm?
It's not smoke, but there
the
is
fact that he has he has this code that
It's all poison.
It's his job to not harm people and not fight people. He is a doctor and he helps people. Yes, to feed his own ego, but I do get the feeling that he does take the idea of do no harm seriously, and then the fact of him being a warrior.
His Hippocratic oath.
His Hippocratic
I
oath.
think that was a turning point in his brain to let go of his ego and to become this, great thing, but greater than himself and greater than anything else that's around him. Is he was letting go of his ego, and his ego was centered around being a brain surgeon.
Yes.
And now that ego part of him is gone, now he's able to help the greater good, and that's why he chose that side.
The greater good.
And he's proven to himself that he can totally do the greater good fight with his shaky hand. Right?
Yes.
So
he can overcome his handicap. Can we say it?
And they like
his
drove
disability.
they like drove it home with the guy that had no hand.
Yeah, look what I can do.
This is why we keep you around.
it's because my hands don't work. It's not because your hands don't work. Look at this guy.
Look what I can do with a stump.
I did like how
look, we got
He's running laps around here.
Asshole, we got Lieutenant Dan over there doing jumping jacks.
That has nothing to do with your fucking hand.
Yeah, look, Lieutenant Dan. Always looking at
It's all in your
Yeah,
mind.
I did like his first test. Run Mount Everest, you'll freeze to death in 30 minutes, but you'll probably pass out for the hypothermia too. Bye. They're just like,
peace out.
They're just like waiting. They're like,
I mean that was a great moment where it's like you realize, oh god, you're doing that again.
And
Sink or swim, bitch. Sink or
Right,
swim.
that's all it was.
Again?
That is how I learned how to swim.
That's how
my father learned.
One hand with all your
And just like that silent act.
That's how my father learned how to
just like
swim.
that whole
in Lake George, New York. That's how I learned how to swim. You'll figure it out. Get in there.
yeah. Well, see, what I like too was up until that point, we never even saw him make a portal that didn't work.
Right.
They just like little sparks and all. Let's step him up.
You did it.
Do it.
He's got it now.
We got work
He
to do.
knows now.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I do like the fact that for the first time we saw an actual medical doctor as one of our heroes.
Yeah.
Because Bruce Banner, yeah, he's a medical doctor, but
Mel Gibson beat
He's
him
R&D.
to the punch with Hacksaw Ridge.
yeah, but I mean the only other doctor we ever see is the guy who makes Captain America Captain America.
Well, I guess
That's it.
In the
We see
MCU.
Stanley Tucci.
In the MCU. Not.
Well, no, Stanley Tucci is the only other medical doctor, actual practicing medical doctor, and even he is probably just research.
Well, no,
Like
there was
Bruce Banner. Who else is a medical doctor?
the
If
girl.
anything, this is a
No.
pro for medical doctors.
Well, the girl in Daredevil, if that's what.
No, the girl from Major Voltron. She was a medical doctor.
The girl that was killed?
Yeah, the girl.
Are we talking about across all universes? Because
No, I think just for Marvel.
just for Marvel.
Just
Okay,
for what
so
the,
I guess dive
Well,
into
'cause-
X-Men, because we
Well,
have
yeah,
different
but
characters in X-Men.
I'm
who
just
are
thinking of
doctors.
Disney, the mouse.
Yeah.
Now the mouse is chosen to say, hey, listen, we're actually, if you work in a hospital, you'll understand the ER. You'll get, Rachel McAdams is
Her role.
her role and her like frustration with like, you brought me another one
Right.
out of some portal you open up, and now I got to operate on some other stab wound. It's always a stab wound.
And I thought she looked very underwhelmed about what was going on with the whole
the floating king.
floating outside the body thing. Yeah.
What's up, Whitney?
Any MTs? Is everybody doing good?
There you go, sir.
There you go. You're showing up for tips.
No. I'm just hoping you don't he asked me to.
I'll give you a
Thank
tip.
you.
New haircut.
No.
Oh, I like his hair.
I know, I just like to use them. No, I mean, I think big pro for if you work in a hospital, which so many people work in the medical industry now. I know I'm an IT guy by day, superhero podcaster by night, of course, but I work at Medtronic.
Oh.
At the time of this podcast, at least, who knows? But yeah, no, so many people have contributed some way to medicine in this country. It's a huge growth industry. I think that's kind of a shout out to everybody who works in a hospital, every nurse. It's kind of this touchy-feely, like, you matter. You ER people matter. We get your point across with Rachel McAdams saying, well, we actually save people then and there when they're actually dying. You're going to help people in theory. Like, I don't know. It's a little preachy, but I don't mind it.
I would have liked to see Rachel McAdams acted out a bit more about being surprised by what she was saying, because that's not something that you normally experience in the human world, and that's like
she was strangely calm.
Yeah.
Just seeing X amount of gunshot wounds in her tenure in the ER.
Fine. Gunshot wounds are human.
Yeah, but you're not seeing apparitions come out of nowhere and teach you how to operate on the table.
Body. This is what I'm going to show you how to do. And by the way, I have super ET light powers.
Right.
Oh, don't mind.
Poke my own body with
mind
my
me.
own finger.
I'm in a fight. I'll be right back.
Don't mind my floating cape.
She was. It's like she was surprised, but I sort of felt like the fact that her ex-boyfriend was dying. I think she was.
Yeah, what she had to do was more important than taking in everything that was going on.
Even the floating cape. I like the double take, but not. It wasn't really a double take. It was just this. I don't have time to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
She looks at it.
Like no bullshit.
Right.
Just like
doctor.
I know what's going on. Just no bullshit. Like I have a task at hand.
And it's sort of the feeling like
your child is screaming in one side of the house.
She's
You
seen an
walk in,
astral
you see
projection,
a pile of
and it's
shit
like,
that's made clearly from a dog in one side of.
You don't own a dog.
You don't own a dog. You just go right past and be like, I'll deal with that later. I gotta go deal with the screaming kid. I'll deal with that later.
I did like that scene though. With
I like that I've seen too much.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
gonna
just
pick
like
up.
that.
Collar popping up.
No,
That was good.
When he first put it on, and he's trying to get the axe, and he's directing him to the super cool binding shit. He's like, it was a little slapsticky because he was running in place and the cape was holding him, but it was right at the end. It was right at the end.
It was a little bit of levity, and you know what, the scene I think kind of needed to bring us back. Because honestly, I thought it was getting a little too serious, a little too quick. Because we were thrown into so much. All of a sudden, he knows kung fu. All of a sudden, he knows all this magic. All of a sudden, whereas 5 minutes ago, he didn't know shit, and he was scared to try.
Yeah, one thing that kind of bugged me about that scene though was
I didn't mind that.
He gets thrown to New York. There's the master, who's theoretically supposed to be better than Strange in the house. He gets taken out like that by the three people.
Yeah, that was easy.
And he kind of defeats them all, kind of using what they're doing against
I know,
them,
but he uses what I'm seeing as the amateur tricks. Look, I can make a rope. Okay, I've seen a magician cut the rope in half and put it back together. I don't believe it. I don't believe that he is capable of doing that. On end. Thank you, sir.
I think
wonderfully cool birthday presents. Thank you, Pete. That's what I do. That's what you do.
The fight scenes did kind of devolve a bit into the, hey, look how cool, look at this cool stuff we can do, rather than actually.
Oh, for sure.
Because I think my biggest it didn't quite do it in the movie, but my biggest pet peeve in fight scenes is when a guy gets knocked to the ground and then the villain just slowly saunters up towards him, and then I'm just thinking like, kill him, and he didn't kill him.
My biggest pet peeve was their weapons.
Jumping.
Like the bad guys' weapons really bugged me. Because they were
weird
swords. Yeah, they were clear and you couldn't see them.
We were bitching about
it was
stuff
just
we
kind
didn't
of
like. We're still kind of.
It was
they're supposed to
the electric
they're supposed to be super badass, so they should have like at least glowing, at least almost kind of lightsabery, kind of like the sorcerer's weapons, but they were like clear.
He had been trained for 5 minutes, and then he beat the bad guys' minions in about 5 minutes. Like, apparently, you don't need a hell of a lot of training. Although we go with the basic stuff, he was sitting reading for 4 months.
He did use the environment more than they did, though.
Yeah,
if they turned it up to drop him.
Okay,
they felt
you know, like the 3 strongholds: New York, Hong Kong, and London. London has fallen or something.
Which blew him into New York.
We don't really. Okay, London's gone. So isn't now London all that chaos that's going on? That purple shit. We don't see that. We only start. We start seeing it happen in Hong Kong. But you know when they do the globe, much like a Death Star in Star Wars. They show the globe.
Yeah.
You got London, Hong Kong, and New York. And I leaned over to you, Rachel, in the movie theater, and all I was thinking is,
cover the whole
I was like, yeah, fuck the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Australia, Antarctica, fuck you guys.
You know, one thing I was thinking
Penguins
is
and
that,
Aussies, just fuck you. You get shit.
One
We
thing I was
only
thinking,
care
so it's like-
about the Chinese, the Brits, and us.
Yeah, here's
That's
one
it.
question I have.
It's very
So,
selfish of us.
so if I understand it, the original Ancient One made these strongholds in these urban environments, and so he made one.
The original
in
Supreme Sorcerer.
Yeah,
So
he
New
made-
York is very
yeah,
ancient.
Yeah, he made one in New York.
Yeah.
I know.
Because like
Down the street from the
Aztecs, Mayans,
Avengers.
Native Americans. Yeah, it's like
Well,
Yeah.
because
I don't know.
time isn't linear. It could have happened anytime. It just happens.
Ah.
Right? It just happens to be 3 blocks away from the fucking Avengers Tower with a big asshole A on the side of the building. I don't know. It just
was
it's
something I noticed.
It's just one of those. Listen, we need this movie to sell in Europe, London. We need this movie to sell in America, obviously, New York, because. What Marvel movie? What Marvel movie doesn't take place in New York? We also need the Chinese market, Hong Kong.
Ant-Man. Ant-Man is all in San Francisco.
Yeah, I know.
well, here's the thing too.
We're gonna love
Marvel
it, and there's a
and DC's
lot of
headquarters.
Chinese people in San Francisco. We have
Yes, but he's directly answering your question. What Marvel movie doesn't take place in New York?
well, okay.
Okay, and here's the thing: Marvel and DC's headquarters were originally in New York. That's why Gotham and Metropolis are New York.
Right.
Spider-Man's in New York. Avengers are in New York.
I'm not arguing the
Yeah.
point that a lot
Yeah,
that
yeah.
most of it's in New York, but I'm
Yeah,
supporting
totally makes
Steven
sense,
that
yeah.
yes, there is an MCU movie
I'm arguing.
that takes place entirely in
I'm
California.
arguing the point that where he goes to meet these people and gets trained by these people and learns everything he knows, clearly where these
Is
people
Nepal.
live, is Nepal. But what's important is Hong Kong,
Yeah,
China,
yeah.
Yeah.
not Nepal at all.
no.
Not, the only reason Nepal was in the fucking movie
It's probably because that's where it
is
was
because
originally
it was in the
story.
books.
Yeah,
It's because
yeah.
it was in the books.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get rid of that. But they had to show that Hong Kong is, if not as important, more important than Nepal. Clearly, they want billions of Chinese people to see this movie and go, yay, save Hong Kong for once. Quit trying
That's
to
actually
save
where
New
the whole
York.
story took place.
Exactly.
The big final
It
battle.
really kind of takes, well, no, New York too.
New York too. I do
New York
like.
too.
I do like that he won. In a simple way, he outsmarted the villain.
No, but it's clearly they want just as many Chinese people
I like that he
as
won by
Americans.
irritating the villain.
Yeah, and yeah, too.
Doctor?
Yeah.
Your first name is Doctor? No,
Yeah.
no it's Dr. Stephen Strange. No, Doctor?
No, Mr.
Mr. Doctor?
Doctor.
No.
It's strange.
Strange. Yes, it is
Yes,
strange.
it may be.
Yes, it may be. No, I like that,
so
but I can't imagine.
How bullied do you think little young Stephen Strange was in elementary school?
Oh, he was a
middle
total
school?
bully.
I don't know. I mean, he's ripped. You want to bully a Cumberbatch that looks like that when he's little?
No, I'm saying he was a bully.
Oh, was a bully.
Not
Or
that he
no.
was bullied.
I think he was bullied.
Well, you see,
With a
most
name
see,
Strange. With a name Strange.
remember,
Yeah.
most of our
Yeah,
heroes.
I mean,
in
like
especially
maybe he was a
Marvel-
bully, but he had to have gotten a lot
Okay,
of
remember,
shit for being named
remember,
Strange.
most of our heroes in the Marvel universe are bullied by the people. Do I have to bring up Peter Parker? Who gets picked on by fucking everybody?
Yeah, but who ever picked on Iron Man? Even
Yeah, I
when
was
he
just
got
gonna say, what about Tony Stark?
Nobody ever fucking.
Yeah,
his
nobody
dad
picks on Tony Stark.
His dad's the bully.
Yeah.
His dad,
That is
yeah.
definitely
Thank
true.
you.
was a good guy, but
Pete and Amanda just contributed. Yes, his dad was the bully, and he was. He kind of was the bully.
That's true.
That's right. Roger Sterling from Mad Men pushed around Robert Downey Jr. when he was little. He's an asshole. We saw that. Yeah.
Well, it's not surprising. Roger Strong was an asshole.
I know, but I still love that guy.
it was worth it because he was an incredible engineer, so it was good.
Yeah.
Well, the Starks, as we know, are amazing engineers. Their judgment isn't always great. I mean, their judgment isn't great when they accidentally create a murder bot.
without Stark.
So here's the thing. I just thought of this.
What's that?
This is the 13th movie in the
14th.
MCU. Is it 14th?
14th.
Sure.
Yeah.
14th.
It's the 14th. Okay.
14th.
It should have been the 13th for the whole
It's a
magic
14th.
horror right around Halloween release.
They can't stop making money. The mouse makes money.
Dude, just throw Marvel in front of it. They're like,
That's it.
What'd you guys think of the new opening credits?
I like
liked
them.
them.
I like them.
I was
I
thinking-
kind of miss the original
Three
because
Iron
I've
Mans,
been dealing with it for a decade
Captain
now.
America's.
But I
Two
do.
Avengers,
I dig the new ones because it's obviously they're not saying here's it from all the comics. This is
Yeah,
for
Incredible
all
Hulk's
you
part of it.
comic book nerds.
That's the one that throws it off.
Now it's the
Guardians.
here's from all you new
And this
fans.
Yeah. that
This is
14?
for everybody we've hooked. They're not saying here's from everybody that has always been a fan and never saw what they want to see on screen. We've done it for 10 years. You've seen what you want to see on screen for 10 years. All these books. Now we're moving into the next era. Now we're showing everybody that's hooked on to these comic movies because of the movies, not the books. So they show all the live action scenes, and God knows they got millions of hours of footage. I don't know. I like it. I don't like the song. I don't know what it is.
What song?
There's a new anthem that they have when they show the Marvel credits. It's not the one from before. They changed it.
See, I thought
I know
they
it was.
were-
It's subtle.
I thought they were
It's
a little
still
bit pretentious.
No,
but then I was like,
it's
oh, we're-
no, it's still superhero-y, but it sounds more generic superhero. It's like if I went to a DJ and said, show me the orchestra on your MacBook Pro and make a superhero anthem for me, and they just kind of make it sound superhero-y.
Yeah.
But the original one they used for the original Marvel credits was like the Marvel. For me, the audio was more important because it's like seeing the THX logo before a Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
which they don't do anymore, which sucks. I miss that, or any of the THX movies.
Yeah.
You know the big and then the audience and stuff.
I was saying,
I miss that.
I don't miss that. It scared
No,
the
I
crap out of
miss
me when I was little.
it did, but I loved it. But you know what? So did Freddy and Jason. But I still loved it, you know. But they don't do exactly. But they don't do the THX logo anymore with the big sound that the audience is now deaf after 3 seconds of their sound. Same thing with the Marvel sound. I'm expecting that their superhero-y soundtrack, and they changed it.
You guys watched
And-
X-Men
I don't know.
cartoon when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, you know that
A little bit. A little bit.
intro was beautiful.
I wasn't into it, but I've seen it. I didn't
And
do
just the
I didn't
visuals
know.
that go with it, it was just so cool. And I was like, oh my god, it's so nostalgic. And
But now
even if
the-
I watch it now, it's just
But
awesome.
now the X-Men is Fox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still Fox. Yeah, X-Men's all Fox. Well, so is Deadpool though, and I cannot wait for Deadpool 2. But I'm really curious about what they're gonna do now that they lost fucking was it Ted Miller?
Jim Miller.
Tim Miller. They lost Tim Miller, the director, the first one, and it was because of fucking Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, because it was difficult to work with.
No, Tim Miller wanted to keep fighting and get this big, massive budget for Deadpool 1. He wanted to keep fighting it out with Fox.
I'll be back. I
And
think they also argued over cable.
they did, but he said no. I want to get a big, massive budget. Let's not take our chips down. Let's fight it out with 20th Century Fox. Let's get a massive budget. Fuck the Green Lantern. We're gonna make a bigger movie, even better. And it was Ryan Reynolds who was his arch nemesis on the set, who said no, we can't do that. I have made a big budget DC movie where they put me in an animated green suit, and it sucked. All of my friends hated it. All of my friends in Hollywood especially hated it. Everybody hated it. Let's make a short, little, small budget movie, and let's just keep it tight and small. That's the market. We're going to be the rebel fucking superhero movie. Everybody else, like the Marvel guys, are making these big, massive, billions of dollar movies. We're going to be the fucking rebel guerrilla fucking superhero movie, and we get to say fuck and shit in every line. We'll be the badasses. Don't buy into this corporate, we need to take all their money, because guess what? These great lines that you have my character reading are all going to get watered down to shit, and there's nothing you and I can do about it then. Let's take less money. Let's not rope in all the X-Men characters. Let's rope in what we can get for a small budget, and let's say fucking shit as much as we can on the screen. Guess what? We will make a better movie. My friends will see it. If my friends see it, everybody will love it.
That's the point.
I mean, like,
And you know what? Ryan Reynolds was fucking right. Turns out, after all his fucking Van Wilder shit, Ryan Reynolds knows how to make a fucking movie.
And because of that, now that
I'm amazed.
Have you seen the trailers for Logan?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I dig it.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
So
dig it.
it's like-
I was,
it's like
kind,
they're
I was
making-
kind of sick of like, how old do we have to make Wolverine? I'm done with Wolverine.
Yeah, and
Let's
like-
recast him or just end done with it. Enough already. But you know what? I saw the trailer for Logan. I'm like, fuck, you got me.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah. They're making.
All right.
It's like.
He doesn't
It's
want to bring
like,
out the
it's
claws.
It's like
but,
this isn't.
here
They are
go.
making. They are making. It is an R-rated comic book movie that's not.
Yeah.
That's
not Deadpool.
Yeah, that's not like blood, guts, kind of stuff. But
Well,
like
Fox-
we're making a mature adult story that is R.
No, Fox figured out a way to out DC. Because DC used to do the dark.
Yeah.
Batman.
Book and close by any chance?
Dark.
Yeah,
if I had one?
and now it's like
DC was like, we're
Yeah.
dark, we deal with dark shit. Marvel's all about ducks who travel from other planets. Fuck that. We're dark, we're gonna show the Joker, and he's gonna be evil and shit. But now, Deadpool's like, no, we're gonna actually go dark. We're gonna show hookers, and we're gonna say the word fuck. You guys can't say the word fuck.
Well, I mean, like
You
I
will
wouldn't-
show
I
the
wouldn't
Dark
go- I
Knight
wouldn't go-
in Gotham all you want,
Deadpool-
but you won't say the word fuck.
Deadpool's not dark. It's
No, it's badass.
Yeah, it's badass.
And DC can't do that.
And Logan,
because it was Warner Brothers
Logan
won't let them do it.
I'll leave.
Fox
Logan hasn't-
will.
Yeah, we haven't seen Logan, but
No,
it looks like it's going to
20th
be a
Century
dark
Fox.
story.
20th Century Fox. Maybe not that company, but that budget brings us Bill O'Reilly and the O'Reilly Factor. They can go with evil fucking shit. It doesn't matter. They can do whatever the hell they want. They report to nobody. You got to hand it to them for not giving a fuck. And honestly, you can't make Deadpool with the mouse. You have to do it with somebody like Fox. I have to say it. You know what? If Deadpool was made with Disney, with the real Marvel, it would suck. It really wouldn't be that good because if you know the character at all. You're going to be really surprised when the Merc with a mouth all of a sudden doesn't have a fucking mouth. It's a tiny thing,
They
maybe,
could do it
but
through
it makes a
No,
huge difference.
I've heard him when he's on like
He's banging a fucking hooker in the first 20 minutes of the movie, hardcore practically.
Deadpool done badly is really fucking bad.
Right.
Like, in the video game,
Right,
cartoon shows
done
it,
correctly.
it's
Look
bad.
who we get.
Yeah.
We get a low budget superhero movie.
Gotta go all
And
out.
it holds up against anything the mouse has to throw at the screen. I mean, look at the sales numbers. Everybody showed up to see the fucking
Yeah,
low-budget
it's-
superhero movie because it was that badass.
It's the
It's as
highest
simple as
grossing
that.
R-rated movie of all time, and it's the highest grossing superhero movie Fox has ever had.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
And they know.
I mean, like,
and that's because people went and saw it a bunch of times.
Oh, right.
I saw it 3 times. in
Right,
theaters.
right. And so Steven, to your point, when they make Logan, it's nobody's surprise that they're going to make it R-rated, and that Wolverine is finally going to say the words fucking shit. Because they made Deadpool say it. It's Fox. They own those Marvel characters. They hit it big time with Deadpool. Deadpool was awesome. Non-comic book people love Deadpool because it's fucking fun.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Like I said, he's banging a hooker 20 minutes into the movie.
I mean, like, I will. Also, I mean, like, I like Deadpool, but I think how much of like its big success was just the novelty of having.
Doesn't matter.
Of having.
I could say the same
I mean,
thing.
like,
Okay, I could say the same thing about Tangerine, which we finally got around to see, which won Sundance. It was the whole feature-length movie shot on an iPhone, and it won Sundance.
Oh.
It beat out all these high-budget movies, and it won Sundance. It was shot on an iPhone.
I don't know. Was it good?
Wait, you think we
It
should,
was actually kind of a good movie.
you think
It was
we should
kind-
But the fact that the quality of the video quality was awful as shit because it was shot on an iPhone didn't matter. You don't need a big budget when you have a story that actually attracts people like Deadpool's did. You don't need this big massive budget. They didn't need all the other X-Men, which they couldn't afford. They made jokes about it in the fucking movie.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds shows up at the mansion. He's like, "Isn't this the mansion that blows up every 10 years?" Like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I've never heard of you. Was it because we couldn't
It's like
afford
almost like,
the
it's almost
other
like the
real
studio couldn't
X-Men?"
afford more X-Men. Yeah.
That's why we have these cheap, nobody knows X-Men showing up.
Like,
They made jokes about the movie about
Yeah,
how low budget
yeah,
it was.
yeah.
And it didn't surprise me.
yeah, I mean, I think
I know.
it's like It's like I felt.
No,
it's like
but
I felt-
Fox owns that, not Marvel. Marvel, the Disney Marvel. Fox owns that Marvel character. So yes, they have to put the Marvel logo up, but Marvel don't own Deadpool. Marvel don't own Spider-Man. Marvel don't own.
Grandma's the Colossus.
No,
Did you
X-Men. They don't own the X-Men.
Staircase.
They sold them when they didn't think there was a market, and then Fox went nuts with it and made a bunch of money. And Fox ain't gonna sell them back. But Fox don't give a fuck. They're like, we can say fucking shit because we're not run by Disney. We're Fox. Have you seen what we broadcast? We put on Married with Children when you guys were in Full House. We don't give a fuck. We will say fucking shit. And by the way, I cannot save you from smoking that cigarette in front of your wife.
I have approved cloves on rare occasions.
So,
That's forgiving. I will give you that.
back to Dr. Strange.
Stay on target?
Yeah.
Stay on target.
I mean, did we kind of finish
Stay
it
on
up?
target.
Did we like the movie? We were talking about it for like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Do you guys do a rating? Any kind of rating system?
We've gone through like 7 different rating
Yeah.
systems.
And we'll say this.
None of them make any sense.
We'll say this: if you don't understand how we feel about the movie by the time you watch the whole review, you really shouldn't be watching movie reviews. we kind of don't need a rating.
I know. I kind of like it. I mean, not kind of. I like it.
I like it. It's good.
I liked it as much as I was imagining I was going to like it. I wasn't blown away. Like Ant-Man, I was surprised at how much I loved that movie. It was so fucking funny. I didn't expect it to be that fucking funny. I thought this was gonna be boring and stupid because I knew nothing about the character. He seemed like a stupid character. It was so fucking funny. Won me over, and the effects were amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ant-Man
The
blew
effects
me
were
away.
surprising.
Yeah, Ant-Man, the bar was really low, and it blew me the fuck away. I cannot wait for the sequel now. I could say the same thing about Guardians, too. I wasn't expecting much. It was like, well, we have the Avengers. Why do we need the Guardians? And then, boom, blows me away. I was like, oh, Chris Pratt, he's funny as hell. The movie's funny, retro music and shit. Oh, I love it. Pop music.
That's how it was with the first Avengers for me. I just thought there were too many stars.
Yeah, that's...
Like, oh, this is going to be a disaster.
I was worried.
And I was
I had high hopes,
180.
but yeah, but awesome, like it.
See, I like this movie. I'll say
This movie
it's-
met my expectations.
it's like
but didn't
for me, it's a
surpass.
little bit.
Yeah,
below
I
the
think
first Iron Man.
that's a good way to put it.
That's for me. It met my expectations. I thought I was gonna really like it. I did really like it. I don't love it.
Yeah.
I would rather watch Ant-Man again, before I would watch this one again. Which is saying some strong words because that was a movie I had a very low bar for. I do. The funny aspect, that's kind of Marvel and Disney is kind of their thing. Look at Tony Stark. Any movie he's in is kind of funny. He makes some quick little joke about how he's rich and successful, and whoever's threatening him really isn't. Like, we have an army. Yeah, we have a Hulk. Fuck you. You know, like, even that. He's like looking at certain death, maybe. He's still kind of like swaggering over with a fucking glass
He's
of whiskey.
making a drink. Do you want a drink?
Yeah, he's making.
Yeah.
He's throwing like he's pouring 3 fingers of scotch. Oh, we have an army. Well, we have Hulk. So fuck yeah.
And Loki does pull it back at the end and says he'll take that drink now.
Yeah.
Right,
Got my ass
exactly.
kicked
Yeah,
early.
yeah, shit like that. Where I'm like, you know what? They kind of have. They're known to throwing humor into movies. Ant-Man that went crazy with the humor. Guardians that went crazy with the humor. Worked because they're kind of silly characters.
Yeah.
But you know what? It worked to throw more humor into those characters. And Paul Rudd's funny. Paul Rudd's just funny.
I think something about
So with this movie, I would
yeah,
say
yeah,
meets expectations
yeah.
for me.
Well, one thing about the humor versus Ant-Man and Doctor Strange is that
There was less humor in this.
Going into humor, I think it was definitely trying harder to make. Ant-Man definitely tried harder to make me laugh, so it's like I was viewing it as a comedy. And I think like with the seriousness of Doctor Strange, I think the comedy was such. Kind of came in like as such a punch to offset the humor that I think I laughed harder.
Well,
None of the characters really made jokes. This like Iron Man, he makes jokes.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
just the situation
Well,
unfolding.
also,
and
Paul
to show
Rudd-
you about the character.
Paul
Paul
Rudd
Rudd made jokes.
has his thieving buddy.
Yeah.
I'm always going to forget his name. but he's been in everything. He always plays
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena. Thank you.
Yeah, so is that this?
You would know him from
enough.
anything as the Mexican dude. Yeah. I'm sorry, but that's what he plays. He's very he's very poorly typecast. He has been in so many fucking movies. But when he over-explains every story, like, so that's where it's at. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to this girl, and she's like, "Yeah, I know this fine-ass guy, and he knows exactly what he's talking about, and he knows how to feed this guy. He's really, really rich, okay?" And then she turns me on this other guy. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know this other guy, and this guy, and on and on."
And then Stanley has his cameo.
Well, Stanley always has his cameo in Deadpool.
That was like. That moment was just pure Edgar Wright.
Yeah. I think Stanley's cameo in Deadpool was probably my favorite. When he is the DJ at the strip club. When Stanley is the DJ at the strip club.
My favorite.
What is his line?
I think my favorite Stanley.
It's like, we got Chastity coming up on the stage now, who doesn't know the definition of irony. It was something like that. I was like, hey, what a great line, Stanley.
I think
when he finally passes on, we are going to be losing something.
I think
his cameos are so good.
Yeah, my favorite all-time Stanley cameo, Amazing Spider-Man. In the middle of the fight when he's got his
headphones on. Spider-Man the Lizard is going at it. He's not noticing any of it. Like a bookshelf gets flown at him, almost crashes his back of his head.
Very funny.
I think
that was amazing.
I think my first is still but I love that.
Definitely, I think my top. Definitely, I think in my top 3 Stanley cameos. And what they did in Doctor Strange. It was like the perfect joke.
I have to agree with the Facebook post about the ultimate Stanley cameo,
Spider-Man,
where he's like cleaning up Thor's apartment and he picks up the hammer and puts it back down.
Like one is
that would be sweet.
I think someone really
can make a difference.
Such a terrible villain, and it's
Come on.
great.
No thoughts.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh.
Well, actually, the best Stanley cameo is in Mallrats.
Oh yeah, yes. I retract my previous statement. It's not Deadpool. It is Mallrats.
Mallrats, when he's talking about every new character I created was a way to deal with fucking up a great relationship. Don't fuck this up with this chick.
All right. I have 2 words for Mallrats: kryptonite condom. Right there. Oh yeah.
What if there was like this in a Marvel movie? There was like maybe not like the main villain, but this mysterious side villain who's like an arms dealer or something like that. And then it turns out to be Stan Lee. That would be a great cameo.
We saw Ultron. We saw an arms dealer. He was on the ships that were dry docked.
No. I'm saying that should be a Stan Lee cameo where he turns out to be like this villain, this side villain they keep on mentioning.
Well, they say,
and then it turns out to be Stan Lee.
There's a fan theory that Stan Lee is Uatu, the Watcher, that watches everything that goes on in the Marvel universe. That's why he's in all the movies.
He's kind of doing that now.
Yeah. Which would be cool. A sweet way to send him off.
Well, anyway, listen, it's been like an hour and a half. Let's hear some final thoughts. Do we like the movie or not? I'm going to start with Pete over here to my left, who's been like noticeably absent because he feels he has nothing to contribute. Even though he did. What did you think?
I thought it was a really good film. And it was like you. Yeah. I didn't have any knowledge about Dr. Strange. I had no idea about it. And then just going in, it was great. It had the funny parts. All was hilarious too. Coming up, and it was just it was a really fun movie to watch. So that's just my general.
That works. Me, I think I've said kind of my piece as the birthday boy. I think met my expectations.
I think the same thing. Going into the movie, I had zero knowledge about what I was getting myself into. I didn't know if it was going to be... I didn't even know it was going to be a Marvel movie, to be honest. I had no idea. I did no research before coming into this thing. Zero expectations. My 0 expectations were met and exceeded pleasantly. I did enjoy the movie, and I will probably see the second one.
Would you be open to any of the other ones as a result of this? It's not a trick question. You can answer honestly. You won't disappoint.
Yes.
As someone who doesn't watch the Marvel movies, as you know, there's more than a dozen of the other ones.
Well, yes, I watched the Marvel movies. I just didn't know that Doctor Strange had anything to do with the Marvel movies.
That is not an unreasonable mistake to make.
Honesty.
Yeah.
That's honesty. We put sodium pentothal in her drink, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, fair enough. All right. Rachel, our story structure goddess.
I liked it.
Woman of few words.
I don't really have a whole lot more to say. I mean, I think it had flaws.
It did.
And my biggest complaint is that not enough things were explained. It was a lot of, look at cool things you can do. Look, you can do them.
I think so too.
They were kind of like, "Fuck you, it's magic."
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
I think that there was.
And I feel like there are kids' movies about magic that explain it better.
Yeah.
But for what it was an entertaining movie.
Yes.
It was definitely not my favorite part of the MCU, but it was enjoyable. I don't regret having spent the time in the movie theater watching it.
Glowing review. Adam, who's been kind of silent back there, so awesome, but we've been kind of yelling over.
Relatively.
Yeah, we've been yelling over.
There's been a lot of competition.
There has been. Yeah, you need to bust in there. It's competitive. Especially
I'm busting right now.
Bust in, my friend.
I had very high expectations for this because I
You
saw
did?
a bunch of reviews.
Okay.
Not a bunch, but a few
So you
reviews
had high expectations.
from comedians from reviewers who I trust a lot.
Okay.
Cinema Snob, whatever, a few other people.
Sure,
They
yeah.
all
Cineblend, CinemaSnob, Rotten Tomatoes, they've all done it.
They've all
done podcasts about it.
All the other.
I don't think they'll listen to ours. We might listen
Probably
to
not. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Let's hook up channel. Let's contact Channel Awesome and see if we can get some kind of a thing.
We're gonna
on
start
with them.
peppering in some fake celebrities.
Yes,
in there,
that'd be good.
just to add to YouTube.
Yeah.
Just so people have to.
And so I had very high expectations, and it
just
met
wait,
them.
we're gonna have Robert Downey Jr. in the next one.
It's sweet. But
yeah,
it's cool. It met them. It was a good script, very workmanlike. The visuals really good. The best way I can describe the movie is like an awesome kung fu fight inside an MC Escher painting.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Say that again.
An awesome kung fu fight inside of an MC Escher painting.
I like that. That's good.
The whole thing reminded me of like the
Yeah, I was definitely thinking of Escher the whole time.
Yeah.
I just remember his name, so thank you.
Yeah. No, I like that.
I was kind of bringing in like the whole Inception idea
Yeah.
that they were doing in their movie, and then there was, I think it was at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy where they had like the 3 cities coming together. I don't know if it was Guardians of the Galaxy, but they had the 3 cities coming together at a point. And
I know you rolled the dice.
I was thinking all these things coming together, but the MC Escher totally ties in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Well done.
Good scripts, very tight. Had like everything that you kind of really need in an origin story, which has been done to death. But they managed to do it really well. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't really fully explained. It's like, it's magic, it's magic. That didn't really bother me because it would have taken like more time out of the movie to explain it. And I think I liked it how quickly it's kind of paced. It's kind of paced along and got the story going. Sure. I love seeing Kubla Khan in this. That was Wong plays the character of Kubla Khan and Marco Polo.
Okay.
And yeah, so I just love seeing him in everything. His whole beat about not finding anything funny until the very end, when he makes a very bad joke.
I do that actor too. That guy.
And then saying that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. I like him.
That was great. Even seeing like Jennifer, Rachel McAdams kind of getting fucked over a little bit.
I forgot she was in this.
Yes, I did
too.
too.
This is not bad casting. This is pretty good.
No, not at all. She was good there.
It was a part that pretty much could be played by any attractive female actor.
It could have been cut.
And they didn't over-sexualize her either.
No, they didn't.
And I kind of enjoyed
which I
that.
liked.
Yeah, I liked it. That was good.
But
and that was good
I
because
am
she
kind
wasn't
of
Hollywood.
sick of all
Right,
the
they just
Marvel
like played her as a
girlfriends.
normal female character. She was
Yeah.
just a female,
Yeah,
figure
have you
there.
seen
But it
what
wasn't-
the Wonder Woman
It wasn't
costume now is?
over-sexualized. It wasn't like she was trying to be some Jessica Rabbit in this movie,
Right,
and it was
right.
nice.
But I am kind of tired of seeing all of the Marvel superhero love interests being these great actresses that they really underuse.
Yeah.
To the point where Gwyneth and Natalie were just like, "Fuck you! I did my movie. I'm done.
Yeah.
You're not using my abilities. I'm out."
Well,
paying me how much
we
to do
do
my
have.
Especially Natalie Portman was
We
like
have
so
Captain
underused in
Marvel.
Thor. She
Wait.
is not
Not yet.
superhero's girlfriend, though. She
I know.
is a superhero in her own
I
right.
know, which is great.
Yeah, we need that.
We're
we
looking
need,
for
we
that.
need more superheroes.
Yes,
I can't wait for the
I'm
Wonder
not
Woman.
disagreeing about that, but I would also
What?
like to see the superheroes' love
You want, yeah,
interests
you want better superhero
be
love.
more compelling characters. And like, it was great that there was the scene in Avengers 2 where Tony and Thor got into it about whose girlfriend is smarter and cooler. Because like, it was sweet that they were having a conversation
Yes,
about
but
whose
Jane's
girlfriend
better.
was better, especially since looks didn't come into the
Right,
fight.
it was about
Jane's
like
better.
I liked that,
Oh, well, Jane is out
but
researching the
it was like she's
conservatives.
like, yeah, well, Pepper's running a multi-billion-dollar.
Well,
But-
Jane is out researching the convergence and is doing PhD
But I
level
would-
work.
In
Jane's
addition
better.
to seeing that, I would also like to see those characters getting to do something
I
because they're
agree.
hiring these amazingly talented actresses.
I agree.
And they're giving them brains, they're just not using their brains.
No, I absolutely agree. And it's kind of a bummer that we have to wait for Captain Marvel, which is Brie Larson.
Actually, haven't
We're
seen
getting Brie Larson,
the second
an Oscar,
Spider,
who
Amazing
was
Spider-Man
awesome
movie.
in Room.
They did it pretty
And
well.
I love
in the
that
first
movie.
Spider-Man movie.
So we are getting
Stacy
Brie
was a
Larson.
good
Gwen Stacy
one.
was a really well written.
Yeah.
They did. I'll give you that. Although that's not
so
technically MCU.
What happened?
Not
And
MCU.
what happened to Gwen Stacy?
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
that's
wait.
the other
Bill,
one.
Back on target.
All right. All right.
Back on
Yeah.
target.
Back on target.
Adam, are you done?
The final thought, I give it 8 out of 10 thumbs up.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
So
We're using every
yeah,
scale.
yeah, we're,
All right,
Using
Stephen,
every
what
So
do
I
you,
guess-
what do you think of the movie, Stephen?
We've
been talking a lot about
Keep it tight.
about expectations, so I'll kind of go with that. I had fairly high expectations. Seemed like I got a glimpse of like the tomato meter, saying that most critics seem to think it was good. So
Sure.
I came in thinking like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna get a good Marvel MCU story with some trippy, crazy effects and an Inception style fighting, and it fulfilled all that expectations. And the comedy, I did not expect it to be as funny as it was. And so I mean, it did kind of at top occasionally fall into sort of the pratfall type kung fu stuff that was kind of a couple like sort of eye rolling scenes and parts, and not quite as well explained. But I'd say over, which I think part of me I kind of expected to be possible, but I'd say it broke the glass of my expectations, but it did not shatter it.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty
That's
good.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Guy?
Oh, I actually summed this up because I got a ride over here from one of my roommates. And I said, you're going to enjoy this movie more than I possibly can because you can get stoned and go watch it. Because
You
those
can get
visuals,
stoned. You can get
the kung fu fight inside of the MC Escher painting.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is fucking awesome. This is so fucking rocking.
Okay.
And at times it almost seemed like the actors were told what they were going to be doing.
Sure.
Because some of them seemed to be off balance even though you knew it was green screen.
Okay.
They were just standing there visualizing it and getting dizzy.
Okay.
Watching it. And it was great to watch, and it was a good to mediocre solid origin story. It's really simple, a little bit sped along.
Yeah.
I could have done with some big time passage titles on the screen. 2 months later, a year later, 3 years later, shit, just some stuff like that.
I think
I'd say overall, it's a solid addition to the MCU universe. I think the introduction of the new credits is slightly symbolic in that everything's going to be different from here on out, and things are going to be more lean. Okay. Probably more subtly, but more the reason. A little more lean. Yeah, a little more lean and a little more linked and explained right away why people don't show up. Yeah.
I saw the new credits scene as sort of like this like sort of. Granted, it was sort of earned, but this great demonstration of hubris. Like, this is our universe.
Yeah.
Look at all these great things we have done.
This
is the MCU.
I saw that, but is it not warranted?
It is.
I mean, 14 movies now.
It's arrogance. It's warranted arrogance.
But think Tony Stark.
Beware,
Is it not warranted?
beware
Just like
hubris.
every single Marvel movie runs.
Right. Exactly. The man is right. All right. What do you yeah?
Yeah, it's a good movie. Go see it.
Yeah, I think I kind of made my peace in the fact that I had a not great bar, not a low bar, like I had for Ant-Man, which I'm sad to say. But I had kind of a mediocre bar where it's like, it's going to be another Marvel movie. We're going to see the same themes. We're going to see the same plot lines. It's going to be another origin story. So, okay, get ready to see him transform into what we think we're going to see.
Yeah, and it's not tied. It's not tied down to the Marvel universe. It's tied into it.
Right. We're going to see another origin story.
It's not take time out of this movie and show that we're in this universe.
It's not like when we introduced the Hulk in the new MCU, where he's just already the Hulk. It's going to be kind of like Iron Man. We're going to see him being himself first, and we're going to build it up. That's going to take hours to do, and then how much is actually left for a real movie after we're done with it? I set that sight in mind, and it kind of kept the bar right there. It met that bar. The visuals blew it away. I read all the reviews, all the spoiler-free reviews, to be conscious of that. To just look at, okay, what do the critics say without giving away anything? They said the story can use some work. It can. They said the visuals are amazing. They are. They say you're gonna see fight scenes and sequences in this movie you've never seen in any of the superhero movies. We did. For that, it met the bar, and I wouldn't say it's my favorite Marvel movie, but I am going to be chained to seeing the sequel.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go there with a frown on my face. I am happy to see it, but you know what it took? It took the end credits to make it really work for me. For me, without the end credit scenes, I would not be as happy to see the sequel.
Oh wait, did we mention the fact that...
We mentioned spoilers, and our sidekick is going to be the new villain. Boom, spoiler.
What I was talking about, did we mention the fact that in the end credits there was "Do not text and drive" PSA?
Yes.
We did not mention that. Do not text and drive, because that's how Dr. Strange stops being a brilliant neurosurgeon.
Don't drive distracted because it can lead to accidents.
Don't drive distracted. Don't do what Dr. Strange did, because look at the horrible accident.
We do not condone this act.
Exactly. They have to throw it.
Interdimensional fighting, we totally condone that.
That's probably Disney. That's probably the mouse. But you know what?
No
they have to
animals
do
were
it.
harmed in the making of this
It actually
movie.
reminded
We
me
do
of
not condone the acts that we
reminded me of
portrayed
RoboCop.
here.
And you know what?
Do not try this at home.
At the end of
Thank you.
RoboCop.
You know what? I'm glad they put it in,
If you
because
pirate this movie, Ed 209 enforcement
Oh,
will
yeah,
show up to
yeah.
take you out. They said that at the very end of it.
I mean, I respect.
and at the
I respect
and at the
doing
end,
something
and
like
at the end of
that.
Deadpool, which says 22,000 people made a living off of this movie. Please don't pirate it, because 22,000 people in one way or another worked to make this movie. Don't pirate your money. Kind of the same way for what you just said, but you know what? For this movie, they said don't drive distracted. You know what? I'm glad they put that in there, because I was just ready to jump in my Lamborghini after leaving my neurosurgery room at the hospital and zip through a rainy night drive in upstate New York. In upstate New York. Yeah, I was just ready to do that too. But whatever, it's the mouse. You have to let them do the safety stuff. But anyway, I met my expectations, but the end credit scenes that set it up for the sequel, that put it in place for me. Now I know who the villain is. Now I laugh a little bit more. I'm really more intrigued for the next movie. That's what did it for me in the end.
And they did a good job.
I think so too.
Close it out?
I think so.
Yeah, we're done.
I think we're done. So for that, we'll see you next time with Some Guy and John.
Back to your cat videos.
Back to your cat videos.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.